I haven't done a book club episode here in a little while, so I want to do one now. I want to talk about Patterns for Improvisation by Oliver Nelson. He was a jazz saxophone player, composer, arranger. Now, I realize that not all of you are jazz-oriented in your playing or in your studying, but there's a couple of things about this book that I think are really cool that you could apply really to anything that you're working on. So I'm going to play a couple of examples, and then I'll talk about how I think you could apply this to whatever you're doing. So the first exercise is simply this. So that's the first two measures. It's in eighth notes, and it goes on for about 16 bars and winds up here somewhere. Now, as you saw, I just went up a fret. But you don't have to. Like, you could stay in the same position and so on. And that's kind of a Berkeley style approach to position playing, where you have one finger per fret, but then you can stretch out as needed. So the idea here, whether you play this thing or buy this book or not, is that chromatic music exists in any position, and no position, some things are going to lay easier in certain positions than they will in other positions. But try to find all of the music that you can in any position. Play chromatically, play diatonically in various keys. Don't always just move to grab stuff and use the same fingering over and over. So that's one concept. The other concept that I think is really cool in this book is that, this exercise does start low and go higher, but many of the exercises in this book, for example, this is number 4. Many of them start high and go low. So number 4 is this. And I don't know if I did the ideal fingering or if that's exactly Berkeley style, but you see what I mean. I'm just staying in one place here. But the idea is, we all practice scales. I see this over and over in classrooms. I see students do this. Starting at the bottom, go to the top, come back down. Make sure you practice some of your stuff like that. Just start at the top and come down and make that the beginning. This doesn't always have to be the beginning. And I think if you always practice that, then you're going to be stuck when you go to improvise, always being anchored here, anchored on the 6th string or the 5th string. Start ideas on the 1st string or the 2nd string. Start high and go low and see what happens. Make that part of your practice routine. So those are two things I like about this book. I like a lot of other things about this book, but I just wanted to highlight those. Some of the things in here are really clever, and some are really beautiful, and there's different meters, and there's different kinds of harmony. It's all articulated one note at a time, so it's melody, but it's articulating harmony one note at a time. Anyway, that's Patterns for Improvisation by Oliver Nelson. Check it out.